Great. I already started panicking. So I can only imagine how you were panicking at your big fashion show. Great. So let's do it. It's our first live together. We're going to talk about exciting things. So thanks everybody who is joining. Let's just dive straight to it. So we wanted to start a new live series where we are going to talk about all things fashion and fashion show. And today we're talking to Seamline Atelier, who just on February 4th, just 2 short weeks ago, had a massive splash in Nairobi at the Tribal Chic, which was really great. We were following with a lot of excitement. So we want to talk to Edward and Aria, who are here today, and who you of course know because you read the interview that we posted on our website, www.glittertrotter.com. If you haven't read the interview, please go. You'll learn a lot of interesting things about Seamline Atelier and other designers. But now let's talk about Seamline, right? And your fashion show at the Tribal Chic 2023. So we want to, because it's a big topic, right? And it's very exciting topic, and there are a lot of details that we all learned along the way. So we wanted to start with like preparation for the show, right? But before we dive in, do you want to introduce yourself and just talk a little bit about the Seamline?
We are so excited to be to be hosted by you, Anna, and we are happy to share our background and our preparations for the show. So Seamline Atelier is a Ugandan fashion brand. We are based in Uganda, and we are a brand that is crucial about our communities where we come from, and we are always inspired by different aspects of life from our communities and our country. So we use fashion as a voice to communicate, because it's our biggest voice that we can use to reach out to different communities and different people. So I will use fashion as a voice, and we are inspired by different aspects of life to educate people about different things that happen in our communities and in our country. So that's us.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the show, the Tribal Chic, right? So I remember when we met in March 2022, which is now almost a year ago, right? We talked about the possibility of you joining Tribal Chic. Did you ever think it would happen so
honestly, we didn't, because at that time I remember we shared with you we were doing our final exams at school, and we had to prepare for our final show. So we were excited for it, but we didn't know how we were going to handle the show and Tribal. So we thought it would take some time for us to be ready for it.
Yeah, and just to clarify, you were preparing for your graduation at the fashion school, Records Fashion School, right? In Kampala, which is a great fashion school, and I think we're very proud of you. So yeah, great. So when you learn that you're going to join and you're going to be on the runway among some of the biggest brands in East Africa, I'm sure it was really nerve-wracking. So how did you cope mentally?
We're excited to be part of it and a bit scared because we didn't know what they were expecting from us. We didn't know if we would deliver exactly what they would their expectation were. So we're a bit nervous, but we're ready. We wanted to show them what we can really do, what we can really pull off. You understand? So it was a bit nervous, but yeah, we're ready. We're ready for it.
Great, and you did show that you were ready. I think definitely the runway was fantastic, and yeah, we got so much positive feedback, and you got so many interviews, follow-up interviews. So we were just waiting for your career to pick up, you know, like a rocket. But now we're here. So let's talk about the preparation for the show, right? So a lot of people think about the fashion shows as something you know in advance. You prepare for like a year. You have all the time of your life to prepare for it. How did it happen in your case? I remember you mentioned that the theme of the show changed at the last moment. There were some other things that we didn't expect.
I remember during when we were still preparing for the first Tribal Chic inspiration that we had before. That was mental health. We prepared for it for more than a month. So when we had that it was changed to sustainability, we were a bit scared because the time frame that we had was so little for us to prepare for something, and we did have a concept at that time that we could work on. So we came up. We're nervous, but we decided to do it because this is it was our only chance to pull off this. You understand? So we sat together and we started brainstorming about a new concept. It was a bit challenging because coming up with something fresh in the short period of time and showcasing it on the biggest stage, it's a bit challenging because we wanted to bring out the best from us and wanted to come up with something that is great. You understand? So we sat together and we started brainstorming about a new concept that we can come up with. So initially we had some concept that is in line with sustainability, but because when I discussed, because I came up with it, when I discussed it with the team, they told me according to the time we have, we cannot pull off this project in this time. So we have to go back and think about something else again. So we're a bit.
Let me interrupt you for a second. You said you had the first concept. What was the concept? Just if you can just describe it. Yeah, the first one you came up with. So the very first one was the mental health issues, right, in young people in East Africa, which is an important topic, right? So maybe we can do it for one of the next shows. What was your second concept?
Our second concept was about the refugees in Uganda, the ones that come in Uganda, and we're mostly talking. It was mostly targeting the refugees from Congo, the ones that come in Uganda. And it was taking us back to our recent project that we did about silencing guns. So, these people were coming from their country to our country because of the guns that are still in their country. So, we wanted to talk about that, but it needed a lot of time and a lot of thinking. So, and also it's in line the way we had built it and come up with it. It was in line with sustainability. So we saw it as a challenge to us to do it in a short period of time. So we decided to just leave it and rethink of something else.
Okay, great. So you're something else. So now the third concept.
Yeah, now the third concept. It took us time, honestly. It took us time because when the team decided we shouldn't do that concept, we started now thinking afresh. So we're a bit scared and trying to see what can we come up with in a short period of time. You understand? So there's a time where my brother Subi, because I grew up with him and I used to look up to him because he was an intelligent guy, and I personally used to admire the way he was doing these things and performing in class. So we were all proud of him. So there's a time where he gave me he called me on WhatsApp, and I didn't know that was in one of the Gulf countries. Honestly, I had no idea. So when he called me, he told me about that. I got so emotional. You understand? I got so emotional, and I was like, it would be someone else, you get it? Because the way he was so aggressive in life and the way he was so angry about his future, he wasn't seeing himself that side, the way he told his story. So when he gave me a call, it was some time back. I started thinking, I started thinking of a course. I started thinking how we can, how we can work on something that could improve our, reduce on the rate of unemployment in the country. So besides him, we also have another brother of ours. He's also he studied, but he's now looking for a job. So he used to call us a lot at that time, and he used to tell us, like, do you have anything that I can do? Do you have anything that you can give me? Do you have friends that you can connect me to? So we used to have a couple of people calling us, like friends, family members, looking for opportunities. And so that's how the concept came in. So we thought, when we looked at these people, most of them were educated, and they were hungry to get something that could at least bring food on their table, even though the job wasn't in line with what they did. So that's how we thought about this. So it was one time when I was seated there, then I was thinking, because we usually we usually come together and start brainstorming about the concepts, each other, like everyone that has got separately. So when I got the concept, we came together, and we have some other people that help us with brainstorming and talking about these concepts. So we came together and started discussing what each other's got, what I've got and what Eric has got. So we discussed, and we saw, like, we agreed that we should work on the concept that I came up with about unemployment. So that's how we came up with the concept.
So let me ask you, you had, after the theme for the show changed, you had how many weeks to prepare?
They were less than 4 weeks. They were like
or even
3 weeks. Yeah.
Less than 4 weeks to come up with the new concept and put together the whole new collection.
They were
right?
less than 3 weeks.
So yeah, going back to, a lot of people think that you're getting ready for the show, and you know, you have all the time in the world, but sometimes things like this happen, and 4 weeks before your big fat fashion show, you learn that you have to change the whole concept, right? And then you have 4 weeks to come up with a new idea, to put everything together, to travel to your place, and to do all of the fitting with all of the models, and it becomes really really intense. So just for those who haven't read your interview and don't know what the collection was about, right? So you named your collection after Subi, your friend, and his name translates as hope in Luganda, right? So can you just describe the concept of your collection?
The concept,
like, what's it about? What was your main message?
The concept talks about unemployment in Africa, whereby when you look at most people that are unemployed, most of them they are graduates from different universities and institutes across Africa and across Uganda. So when we looked at that, we came up with an idea whereby we wanted to talk about our education system, because it's not only about us, but it's about many people, and most of them, they studied, like they spend more than 20 years preparing for their future careers, but at the end of it all, they don't get jobs that are in line with what they studied for. So we took it back to where it all started from, and that was school. And then we wanted to get an element that could represent school, and that was the uniform. And then why did we choose the uniform in the first place? So the reason why we chose the uniform, it's because when you look at our lives during school, we spend most of our times in uniforms, and we were loyal to them because everyone used to tell us that the future is in what? The future is in the future is in education, is in school. So we were loyal to the uniform for more than 20 years, thinking that it will transform or it will change into something else. You understand? So that's how we came up with the concept of the uniform. So we wanted to transform the uniform or upcycle the uniform into something that we thought it would change into. Yes.
That's really interesting. So I'm itching to ask about that one outfit, the male outfit that you had. That was not the uniform. Can you tell me more about that one? Because that looks nothing like uniform.
Actually, those were uniform sweaters. Yeah, they were uniform sweaters.
Okay.
Those are uniform sweaters that we use, like we put on the side. So we collected them, then we put them together to come up with that full one sweater. We joined them together to come up with one sweater. So.
Oh, okay. So the whole outfit consisted of the pieces of sweaters that are
sweaters
uniforms
from different schools. Yeah.
Okay. That's why they're different colors as well. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Now I get it. That's very cool. Thank you. So tell us, I've seen the photos that you shared with me when you were preparing the collection, right? There wasn't just two of you who were working on that collection. Who helped you?
First of all, we're given an opportunity to work from school where we graduated from. That was Records Fashion School. At first, we were a bit nervous about the time frame we had. So we had to reach out to different people that could help us in the industry here in Uganda, fashion designers here in Uganda, and fellow graduates that we finished with. So we reached out to them, we called them personally, telling them about the project and how they could help us. So some of them were a bit busy, and others were willing to help. So the team were about 8 people that were part of this. Yeah, including us.
You. Well, this is your chance to give them a shout out. Do you want to name the friends who helped you?
Yeah, sure.
Because they're really important, right?
First of all, we want to thank Records Fashion School for this space. Then there's My World of Craft by Faith. She's the one that worked on the accessories, the earrings, and the sets and the set bags. And then there's Samvra Brian, one of the founder of Samvra Couture. Then there is Anita. She's also designer and the founder of Anita what? Ntunga. Yeah, Ntunga Creations. Then there is there are students here at school that also helped us. There's Stella. There's Florence. There's Nabayaza. There are a couple of them. Then even Joff, the poet, was part of the project. Yes.
Oh, fantastic! So Joff is the one who wrote the poem, right?
And we also reached out to him in a short period of time. So he was also part of this child sacrifice project because he also wrote a poem for it. So we had to bring him back on this one as well. Then
okay.
Even the cameraman. Yeah. And even Mugume, who did the photo shoot for us. Yeah, let me hope I've not forgotten anyone.
Let's hope so. If you've forgotten somebody, we'll ask them, and then we'll reshare. So let's talk about this whole process, right? So the whole process from when you learned about what the theme of the collection, you came up with the idea for the collection, to the moment where you left Kampala and you actually went to Nairobi, it was your collection at hand. So what were all the different things that you had to do during that process? So for somebody who's doing it for the first time, what did you learn? What did you do? How, who guided you maybe, or did you just learn on your own how to do it?
Basically, most of the things were, because we had to do a lot of things during that time. Most of the things were done by us, and the most challenging things that we faced there when we reached in Nairobi, it was was about me, personally, it was about their language, because I didn't know. They used to speak to me in their language, but I didn't know how to speak, like how to speak Swahili. So basically, it was, and also when you are preparing for the show, like a big show like that, you have to organize, because when they sent us the names of the models and their sizes, they came in late, so we had to think fast and use standard measurements for the models. So when they came in, it was like we're lucky enough that we worked in the same sizes that they were in, so it helped us a lot. And also we tried to organize each piece with the names of the models. So when it came to fitting, it was a bit easier. So whereby each model knew, like, he knew his own outfit, because we showed them the outfits and they knew how to put them on, and we showed them how to put them on. And when it came to the final show, everyone knew where his outfit was and how to put it on. So it's always better to label your outfits, and also try to involve the models to be part of your whole collection.
Sounds great. So when you were still in Kampala, right, you received the sizes of the models. How in advance? How long in advance? Like 2 weeks in advance or less?
I think less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. So that's something else, like for other designers, right, to think about. So first you might get the notice that the theme of your show changed, like 4 weeks before the show, and then you only learn about the sizes of your models 2 weeks or even less before the show. So in your case, you just did the standard sizes that the models would be, right?
Yeah, it was size 8. We worked with size 10 and 12. Yeah, 12, 10 and 12. But UK, most of them were in size 8. So when they gave us the list, we tried to pick the ones that are in line with size 10 and size 12. But we were lucky enough that they fitted them very well.
Great. Well, what else did you learn? How did you come up with the whole, like, comprehensive concept? Because you didn't just have the outfits, you also had the earrings, which were really fantastic. I really liked the earrings that Faith made. And then you also had bags, and then you also reached out to other designers in Uganda, right? So that they can help you provide their outfits for the pop-up after the show. So how all of that came together. And one question I have to ask, right, because it always comes up, right? We're all humans. So somebody would be like, oh, Seamline Atelier is going for a show. I don't want to help them because I want to be in the show. So how did you manage that? Because people would be people, right? People are people. We all get jealous. We get competitive. So how did you work with that?
So when we came up with the theme, the way we prepared it, we came up with, we gave ourselves days, like time frame that we have to finish the sketches in this time frame. So when we were done with the sketches, we were still thinking about the project, because we wanted to bring out the best from us. So when we thought a lot, that's how we thought about Faith, because she's a good accessory designer from this side. So we reached out to her and told her about our concept and everything. So she was also she was interested in it and excited to be part of it. So we told her what we wanted. So she told us also our part. We gave her time. We gave her time. So she came back and presented to us something that she came up with, something that is in line with what we did. So when she presented everything, it was what we were looking for. You understand? So that's how we came up with that concept. So she went, we gave her time. She went and started working on everything. Then she presented to us the final pieces, and we loved them. So after that, we had to also engage in our fellow designers here in Uganda, because most of the time it's also good to make friends in the same industry that you're in, so that they can be supportive in a way. So when we when we got that message that we have to engage in other designers, we reached out to them and told them about these opportunities. They were excited to be part of it, and they were grateful that we presented the opportunity to them. But I think we're a bit, the fact that we're a bit busy, and they were also a bit busy, so communication wasn't a bit good. So most of them were not able to deliver the pieces in time, and others wanted to do something, wanted to create something else for the pop-up. So most of them did not deliver, but some did, and yeah, the pieces were part of the pop-up. And about,
do you think it's just sorry, do you think it's about the time, right? So the time for everything was short. If you had more time, do you think you would engage more designers?
Because honestly, we engaged in more designers. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. We called most of the designers to be part of this, but most of them did not deliver. We don't know why, but they just did not deliver. But we reached out to them and communicated to them more than two times about this, but most of them did not deliver.
So tell me, like the collection for like 10 outfits which you created, for them to feel like a collection, there has to be something about them that unifies them. So how what was your kind of take on what would be that unifying element, aside from the fact that they were all made of old uniforms? So what was your kind of theme throughout the collection?
We wanted to use black and white in the collection. That's why when you see it as black and white, and the reason why I wanted to use black and white, because we wanted to talk about this issue, like we wanted to talk about the issue, like when it's not, like wanted to talk about this issue when it's direct, you understand, when it's direct to the people that this is it, this is the reason why you are talking about this. Our education system has to change. So that's why when you in the poem there's that bit of black and white. So we wanted to bring out that. So we also had this idea of stripes and check. So we also like we wanted to bring out that feel of school. You know, when someone sees an outfit, it remembers remembers the time he passed through when he was in school, and also try to recall each and every time that was part of school. So we brought in that aspect of stripes, the running stripes, and also the check to make it uniform. But the main colors were black and white.
So tell me, what's the black and white? Is it like the future versus the reality, or the promise versus the reality? What do the black and white represent?
Black and white, we wanted to talk about this issue direct. We never wanted to pass under the bush, or try to be soft. So we wanted to bring it direct to them, that this is the issue that is paining us. The promises that were made did not happen. So that's why we wanted to be direct.
Okay, and the stripes and checks, is it the same? So the stripes, talking straight.
Yeah, the stripes were
things,
trying to remind people about the schools, the memories they used to pass through while they were in school. That's why we use those stripes. Those are the things that can easily touch someone's mind when he sees them. So that's why we went with the stripes. And also the way this our slogan that we came up with, "The future begins here." It was a school motto. It was It was a nursery school motto that we saw in some school. So when we saw that motto, "There's the future begins here," we remembered where we came from. People telling us that the future begins here. So that's how we incorporated it in our collection, and also tell people that also the future of education can start here. Can start from this collection, and to benefit the next generation. Yes.
That's really interesting. So it's not like your collection is not about we don't like education and we don't think there is a place
No.
of education. It's more about
Yes.
let's start a conversation, because 20 years of education and then job and then comfortable living, that was a long time ago. Now the world has changed, so we need new way of educating people for the new world. And education is
Yeah.
still important, right? But we want education to be different. We want education to evolve, so that it's not 20 wasted years, but it's 20 years that really prepare you to be the citizen of the new world and the
Yeah.
new Uganda as it is now, not as it
That's
was a long
that's
time ago.
Yeah, that's
This is
right.
really great.
Our main point here is not about, we are not fighting education, but we want to create an
Mm-hmm.
open conversation, as you have said. And also, when it comes to our country, most of us, when you tell your parents you want to do something, like you want to do, like you want to do, let me say, fashion and design, that's not the course that's not the course
Right.
they would want you to do. You get, they have specific courses that they want you to do. So it's a bit challenging in many ways, you get it. And also we study more
Right.
things that are not important to our future careers, whereby we spend more time doing something that is not part of what we want to do, and then less time for our future careers. But yet it would be less of what is not important in our careers, and more of what is uh, what we want to do in our future careers. You understand? Uh, and
Yes.
there's a designer we met in Kenya. I I won't mention her name. I
Okay.
won't mention her name, but she told us about this same issue. Like, if her parents wanted her to do something else, you get. Then that's what she did
Mm-hmm.
for them. Then when she was done with that, she decided to uh do. She decided to do now what she really wanted, and that was fashion. So now she's a bit struggling with like trying to understand what to do exactly in the field she wants, because she gave it less time. You get, she gave less time what she wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do. So it's a bit challenging. You
Right.
get, it's a bit challenging. Parents also have to.
So the whole str-
Parents also.
mm-hmm. So the whole struggle is that our parents who wish us well, right? We'll love our parents and they love us, but our parents who wish us well, they want us to have a job of
Yeah,
like a doctor
yeah,
or lawyer
yeah,
or professor,
yeah,
something as they call
yeah,
serious, right? We might want to
yeah,
do something else. I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to be an artist, but I couldn't because it was not a serious profession. So instead, I did something else, right? And I do regret it, but
yeah,
it's the same thing, right? So many years later, we still have the same system of education that celebrates some professions, but doesn't prepare you
yeah,
for other professions, and it's mostly because it's seem it's seen as if those professions would not give you enough
yeah,
money to have decent living, but
yeah.
they can, right? And the world has changed. There are all
That's
these
right.
new professions that are now
Yeah,
coming up, right? And fashion is one of the biggest industries globally, so it should
yeah,
be
it
also
should.
celebrated, and there should be opportunities to study that.
So
Yeah.
that's also a problem
Okay.
that we are facing this side. I think it's worldwide, but let's hope, like, because for us, we're lucky enough that our parents believed in us and they gave us an opportunity to study what we wanted. But some people find, like, they reach a time whereby they tell them, we can't fund you to study that course that you want. You will make your own money to do that. You get. So we're lucky enough that
Mm-hmm.
we were supported by our parents, and they're now proud of us. So it will, like, the way we would like us to give back to them, or to give back to the society. It's raise such issues using what we were gifted with. You get. So
I think this is the perfect moment to
okay.
pause our conversation, right? and leave something to discuss next week. So today we talked about the 4 weeks that you had to prepare for the show, the getting of the completely new theme 4 weeks before the show, and getting the model sizes 2 weeks before the show, coming up with new idea, reaching out to all of your fellow and friend designers. But all of that was this big idea of starting a really important conversation about how the system of education and how we perceive it, how we view it as a part of our society and our community should be changing and evolving, because we're changing and evolving. And we want education to be part of it, not to be like a side thing that you do for whatever years in high school and college, and then you forget, and then you move on and do things that you like. We want that all to come together, because education is important, right? And we'll agree on that, right? But it has to be, education has to be evolving as our society and ourselves are evolving. Great. So with that, we are hoping to meet next week at the same time, same day, same time. And then we talk about the most exciting part, or the second most exciting part, the actual show, how it went, what happened during the show, how your outfits were fitted to the models, how the models like them, how the designers, the feedback that you got in Kenya. And then hopefully we can also hear from Subi at some point himself, the guy who inspired the show, and have them and have him on our live, right? With that, to everybody, thank you for joining. Do check out the full interview, and we will welcome you back here next week, Friday, which will be Friday 24th, right? 7 p.m. East African time, and any other time that you are online. If you want to ask any questions of either myself or the Seamline Atelier, send it to us, and we'll be happy to respond.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Aria. Next time, Aria, you will have to talk as well.
You're right. See you.
And I'll see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely.
Bye.
Bye, guys.